YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today, guys, I have encountered this deck right here. Now, honestly, I was really hesitant in really using this because this is typically like TENPAI. It feels like TENPAI, it plays like TENPAI, but with a spice of KASHTIRAs. Nowadays, KASHTIRAs are also a pretty good deck to go up against TENPAI, having to banish stuffs on the field. Problem with that one is easily be removed by board breakers. So I've seen some gameplays or some people use this one as well, but I haven't seen them in game per se. Luckily, we have the opportunity to try it out in game. So I have 3 replays for you guys to see, but a little bit of the deck. It is, or you can play out KASHTIRA, the same line that you have known with regards to KASHTIRAs. So Unicorn into Theosis, Theosis into Fenrir, Fenrir go into a copy of Rysart, and so on and so forth. End board is Shangri-Ira with a copy of a Rysart. Give or take, maybe one copy of Fenrir on the field or a copy of a Rysart. Depends on what you summon to the field. Other than that, you have your normal summon, so it's either you go into a copy of Paidra plus a copy of Chunra on the field, you go into a Seals. So it's not typically like a Seals pass sort of thing if ever you're going to be forced to go first, or if you choose to go first. It's you know, you have choices for this deck. It plays the same way if you have the Paidra, the Chundra, the copy of Kaimen, or the copy of the Sangan Summoning. Extra deck, we're just slipping ourselves a copy of Psychic Punisher, 2 copies of Shangri-Ira, and a copy of Rysart, just for the sake of using this one with the KASHTIRAs. Majority of my games so far are mostly against TENPAI and stuns, so I don't really have like, or my replays I would say, are typically with TENPAIs and stuns, so I don't really like have a good replay against Yubel or Snake Eyes Fire Kings for some reason. I don't know if this is the time where people are using TENPAIs or stun decks in general. But yeah, 3 games with regards to this deck profile right here. And if you want the deck list, it will be in the comment section below. Now, enough about this. Let's go into the replays. First replay, guys, we have Maxi, we have Paidra, we have Fadra, we have copy of Genruko, which is the best thing that you can see on a TENPAI deck. But luckily, we have also a good starter from the KASHTIRA line, which is the Unicorn, since majority of the time, or most of the time, people would likely to interact with your KASHTIRA cards. So anyways, let's start off. Go into a copy of Unicorn to the field, getting a copy of the Theosis, so no interaction so far. Go for a Theosis, target our Unicorn, go into a copy of Fenrir on the field. Fenrir gets us a copy of Rysart here, and then go into a copy of Shangri-Ira next. Then we normal summon our Rysart, banishing 1 card, and then targeting from the Big Bang a copy of our Fenrir that we can summon to the field, and we can lock 1 zone out on his side. Now with the Rysart, we go into a copy of a Rysart for our board. Now I wanted to like summon a monster here per se, but I choose not to because maybe we'll use it in the next turn, so I'm saving it. And you know, just to avoid letting my opponent know that we're using TENPAI as well with this variant, or with the KASHTIRAs. So with our opponent's turn, since our opponent is on defense position, I've seen his build. He has Lightning Storm, so luckily our monster is on defense. So he goes into a copy of Sangan Summoning, one of the most dangerous cards to be on the field. Go into a copy of Rysart that he banished the card. Paidra will activate its effect. Now we can banish the Sangan Summoning and then use the effect of Unicorn. Now, they usually have like 1 copy only of Transcendent Dragon or 1 copy of the Trident Dragon. So it's either one of those, and then you can use the effect of Unicorn to banish one of those cards. Typically, just go with the Transcendent because most of the time they will oftenly go with that card as well. So there we go, the Transcendent, and with the Fenrir removing the Sangan Summoning. And since cards are banished, we go for the Rysart, use the effect also for the Shangri-Ira since 2 cards have been banished face down. So locking 2 zones out, so only 2 zones left for our opponent, and he can't gain access to a copy of Fadra after this. And furthermore, banishing 1 more card so that he can only access 1 monster on the field. which is yeah, a basic lock for the Tenpais. So that's easy enough. Nothing like cool enough with this replay. Let's move on with number 2. Okay, game number 2, we have a copy of Hydra, Chuchundra, a copy of Unicorn, a copy of the Raid Soft, and lastly, a copy of Colbert Grave. Now, honestly, this is a really good hand though, but our opponent is going first, and this is against a stun, runic stun. So, let's go for, our opponent is going for a copy of Tip, getting a copy of Flashing Fire, I guess, or Freezing Curses, sorry. Freezing Curses, and going for a copy of Morganite, setting 3 cards in the back row. Now, problem with this guy is he's using the trap card that once we use a spell card, can just pay and then, you know, destroy it, which is oftenly a really good card against Tenpai so far. But there we go. Go for Grave. Grave of a super ancient organism. I haven't seen this card for quite some time, but it's a pretty good counter against Tenpai as well. And Kashtiras alike. So level 6 or higher monsters can't use their can't use their effects and can't attack. So the only thing that we're working for here is just level 3s and level 4s, which is not half bad. So we go into a copy of Hydra. Our guy is gonna go for Runic Curses or Freezing Curses just to negate the effect, which is not half bad because luckily we have a copy of Chundra already on our hand. So with this, we go for Chundra on the field, then go for an attack. Spell summon the Genruko, and the purpose for Genruko on the field is so that you can summon a copy of Hydra to the field. Or Fadra, I mean. Use the effect, go for Fadra. Fadra spell summon the copy of Hydra, and do another 1/7 and 1/6. Nevertheless, main phase 2, we go into Seals, and since we attack more than 3 times, we can spell summon this monster to the field and pop 1 spell or trap. So we pop the organism thing and go into a copy of Unicorn. Now I can't use the Theosis here because we use the effect of Genruko for the tribute and spell summon of a dragon monster. So nevertheless, we have a Seals, we have a Unicorn, and we have the Bident. If ever it gets destroyed, we can just special summon it back. So during our opponent's turn, there we go, draws 2 cards for the Morganite, activates the effect of Dimension Fissure, go for Flashing Fire, targeting my monster. Now I will need to tribute that one, and that was just forcing the card because what he has next is Triple Tactics Talent. Draw 2 more cards, which he just bricks. So Upstart Goblin, and that's it. So yeah, that's game number 2. Like I said, it's a very boring game. So for some reason, all of my games are mostly Tenpais or even stun variants. So yeah, this is one of the things that happens if ever you're playing with these type of decks anyways. So that's it. Let's move on with game number 3. Okay, so for game number 3, guys, we have a lot of good starters. We have Unicorn, we have Shifter, we have Fadra, 2 copies of Kaimin. To be honest, this is a really good hand. Now honestly, we can start off with Unicorn or the Tenpais whatsoever, but we need to activate first the Shifter in case we are not going up against Tenpai. So Unicorn into Theosis, Theosis into Fenrir, and then Fenrir into a copy of Rice Heart. Rice Heart will be, I think we normal summon Rice Heart here. There we go. Or Spell Summon, I'm sorry. I think that was the other game. So, Spell Summon Rice Heart, banishing the Big Bang target. Spell Summon a copy of Fenrir to the field. And with the Shangri-Ara, locking 1 zone out. That's it. And we can use the effect of Kaimin, getting a copy of Genruko. And Genruko will be on the field. That's it. So, not typically like a bad end board to be honest, but you know, I could have just used the effect of Kaimin to get that card, spell summon to the field rather than normal summoning it. But yeah, might as well gonna use the normal summon because that's the only thing that we can actually do at this point on. So we end our turn here, and our guy's still gonna be using Tenpais, or we are up against Tenpai still. So Prosperity, banishing 3 cards, getting a copy of Chundra. We lock 1 zone out, and we use the effect of a Riser to gain more card from the banish pile. That's it. And honestly, this is the same gameplay as what you're gonna expect from the game anyway. He's gonna use the effect of Sunken Summoning. We can banish that, but he has a copy of Seraphim Gear Gamma. Not really like too bad, to be honest, because he's actually occupying the monster zone at this point. And if ever he goes into a battle phase, we can have a copy of Genruko, Spiral Summon a copy of Chundra to the field. So that's still pretty wild, to be honest. So it's not, you know, a bad gameplay. So once he uses the effect of Gamma, we can bash the second summoning, then trigger all the effects from the Big Bang, from the Theosis, and yeah, just getting a ton of materials from our monster. Now this is basically one of the misplays I did because I removed one material from the Shangri-Ara. If he has a copy of any monster so far, or a monster that goes beyond 3k attack, he can destroy my Shangri-Ara. Nevertheless, locking 2 zones out is not really like a big issue. So there we go. There we go. Spiral Summon to the field, and once he summons or tries to summon Chundra, we go for Genruko, summons Chundra to the field, and if ever goes to battle phase, we can still sync off. That's still pretty good though. So far so good. That is the gameplays for you guys. What are your thoughts on the Kashtira and Tenpai? I know it is pretty boring seeing Tenpais again and with the Kashtira variant. But nevertheless, hope you enjoyed this kind of content. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully we can tackle another variant for Tenpai or the newer cards. I think I did. But anyways, we'll check that one out in the next VOD. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.